More Americans identify as pro-choice than identify as pro-life. If you were a mainstream media pollster with an agenda, you would stop right there and make it your headline. But Rasmussen Reports takes it the extra mile and asks the questions that the media doesn't, so you know what true public opinion is on complicated issues like abortion. Follow along after the intro for a fascinating compare and contrast. First, take a look at the Google search results for terms like abortion poll. What you'll find in pretty much every case is a gross simplification of the issue into binary responses. Should abortion be legal or illegal? Do you support or oppose the Supreme Court's decision on Roe v. Wade? And perhaps the biggest one, are you pro-choice or pro-life? That question is used so often because Americans reliably do say they're pro-choice more than they say pro-life. Our results are no different. But that's the most sanitized, stripped-down way you could possibly ask an abortion question. It's essentially exploiting the fact that Americans are generally agreeable people and like the concept of people having rights. Likewise, you'll also see pollsters ask whether people support abortion rights. But questions like, does a fetus have a right to life? They're scarce to non-existent. Well, let's dig into a two-question set we asked to show you the difference between Rasmussen and everybody else. First, are you pro-choice or pro-life? Our results are roughly in line, though probably somewhere tighter than most pollsters. Gallup has pro-choice at 55% right now, and their polling was conducted the same week as us. We've actually found the reverse, with only 46% saying pro-choice right now, and that's down from 56% 3 years ago. But now, the more important question. Some states have limits on how late in a woman's pregnancy an abortion can legally be performed. Should abortion be legal up to the first 3 months of pregnancy, legal up to 6 months, or legal at any time during a pregnancy before the moment of birth? Or should all abortions be illegal? Now keep in mind, this is a sample where 46% of voters identified as pro-choice and 42% identified as pro-life. First, 8% of voters said not sure, and 24% flat out said abortion should be illegal. 43% say up until month 3, so right there, only 26% of voters think abortion should be legal past month 3. What about past 6 months and up until the moment of birth? Only 13% of voters. But who are the people that make up that 13%? 4% more women than men, twice as many 18 to 39-year-olds as those who are 65 plus, and slightly more black and Hispanic voters than white voters. But party and ideology are where the biggest differences lie. 41% of Republicans, but only 19% of independents and 12% of Democrats think abortion should be completely illegal, but about an equal amount of each party thinks abortion should be legal up to 3 months. That leaves only 9% of Republicans, 24% of independents, but a whopping 42% of Democrats supporting abortion after month 3. Democrats at 23% are almost 6 times more likely than Republicans to support abortion up to the moment of birth, and over 2 times more likely than independents. Now, what about ideology? Only 13% of conservatives, 29% of moderates, but a full half of liberals support abortions after 3 months. Finally, let's take a look at pro-choice versus pro-life as a crosstab response. Pro-life people are obviously very strongly against abortion, with 48% saying it should be completely illegal, and only 9% supporting abortion after month 3. But strangely, 3% of pro-life people support abortions from 6 months to birth. Nobody ever said American voters were perfect. But here is a fascinating lesson to be learned when you look at pro-choice voters. A majority of them, 53%, say abortion should be legal up to at most 3 months. Add in the 19% who say 3 to 6 months, and you're up to 72%. Only 23% of pro-choice voters think abortion should be legal after 6 months. So if you were an unscrupulous, ideologically driven pollster, you'd run a headline with these results like, More American voters are pro-choice than pro-life. What was our headlines based on this fascinating second question? 2/3 of voters favor limits on abortion. There are plenty of other narrative-popping headlines buried in here. How about only 13% of voters favor abortion after 6 months? Abortion advocates love to conflate people identifying as pro-choice with desiring unfettered and unlimited abortion. So how about this headline? Less than a majority of pro-choice voters favor abortion after 3 months. Final takeaway, who is the most against late-term abortion, with only 3% of them supporting abortion after 6 months? Those who strongly disapprove of the job Joe Biden is doing. If you want to help us bust deceitful mainstream narratives, subscribe to our channel, share our content, and leave a comment with any ideas you want us to try a poll on.